So after all is said and done, change upon change upon change, CONMEBOL strike back. A couple of weeks ago, they ended up confirming that the final of the Libertadores would be played at the Monumental in Núñez. That, of course, was known for a while. Many had been stating it since basically last year, almost, where the next Libertadores final would take place. And now, well, there's talk about the Libertadores final changing venues within Buenos Aires, but not at the Monumental. Now, this is not confirmed. This is not 100% yet solid in terms of the information. Obviously, there's still return legs to be played. Things changed in the past couple of days. River losing 3-0, now looking highly improbable that they will advance to the next round. They'd have to win 3-0 or more, and again, score 3 goals or more, and not let Atlético Mineiro score, which has been kind of a difficult task for them. Also, Peñarol losing 5-0 ends up making things a little bit more difficult for a River Plate side, whether Uruguay or Argentina, to end up playing in the Libertadores final in Argentina. Now, it looks highly likely that you're going to have an all-Brazilian final in Argentina. So, at a Monumental where it's not going to be filled to capacity. So now what does CONMEBOL talk about, or what is being speculated, is that, well, there will not be a Libertadores final at that stadium. They'll look for an alternate venue, and we shall see where it is. Because if there's one thing, Brazilian fans that aren't Flamengo, Palmeiras, they don't travel exceptionally well. And for you to fill a stadium like the Monumental, 84, 85,000, you'd have to have 2 fan bases that travel exceptionally well. And that being said, if you have Flamengo and if you have Palmeiras, that would be like the only final that could basically come close to filling that in Argentina, which would end up being a very interesting set of circumstances, but that's not the case. Atlético Mineiro has a big fan base, but not that big. Botafogo have a pretty big fan base, but definitely not that big. And not even close to being that big. So what ends up making things so interesting is that the CONMEBOL have to be mixing and matching and switching and changing and adjusting and kind of tap dancing their way through things, because they know that if these two teams end up getting to a final, they won't earn as much as, let's say, River. Obviously, River, week in and week out, if they don't come close to it, they actually do in terms of filling that stadium. But it's a different set of circumstances, because many of those fans do end up paying their dues. They do end up paying their tickets, and that ends up being also something that needs to be talked about in terms of what this Libertadores final can end up being. So, CONMEBOL improvising. That's been basically the lifeblood of this confederation that somehow continues to flourish and also continues to shoot itself in the foot at the same time. Talk to you soon.